All right, good afternoon, Standing Strong. Today is a Zoom session, a live session. This will be made available later via recording onto our YouTube channel, as for all the rest of them. We're going to do like a foot fancy workout today, all about agility, which is about precise movements of your feet, putting them where they need to go. In the case of a misstep, helps prevent falls, but also balance. So balance and agility. Okay, so enjoy. So we're going to start with a fair bit of warm-up. So all the muscles that help you particularly adapt to different surfaces, and often that's the rotation type muscles and the ones that give yourself a bit of spring, we want to just warm up today. So you can kind of do a little, like a bob with a turn. If it helps you visualize the movement, see how this is kind of like it's like a backhand movement in tennis. Can you see that? And it just allows you to turn from your trunk, get your upper body and lower body, just stretch everything out a bit. Good, and we're going to do some kind of lifts up and over. Lift up your hip, step over. Lift up your hip, step over. So up and overs. That's it, keep going. Should feel a bit of kind of like mobility coming into your hips, hopefully. Good, and then we're just going to go from side to side. As you swing to the side, notice that your heel will just lift up off the floor. So on the side you're going to, that stays down. On the side away, it's just going to go up. Just come up onto that toe. Good. And then feet together, knees together. We're going to do the knee circles. It's raining in some parts of the mountains right now, so, well, I think it is. It was before. So it's good to be exercising inside today, isn't it? It's the time when most people decide they won't exercise in the rain, so having some different options to keep you going is usually a good thing. All right, so standing on one leg now, we're going to do our foot circles. You might need to hold on just for balance. Nice big circles with your toes. And then all the way around. Okay, other side now. And then the opposite way. Good, and then just some high knees. You might get a cat walk on screen in just a second. She's hovering, my cat. All right, and then just do some super glue walking on the spot. So we'll have various degrees of challenge today. So if you're joining us for the first time, these are mixed classes. So they cater to Huon, Banksia and Angophora, which are kind of like our different levels of class, from more seated based exercises to more advanced floor based exercises. So there'll be things that you can do, things that you can't do. Just do the things that you can do. All right, we're going to roll onto the out and in. Out and in. Just be careful with this one. Don't want you to hurt yourself. That's it. Feet nice and wide. We're going to do the hula hoops. When people think of balance, you often think of your feet because we're standing on our foot, and you'd be right to do so. But like balance also needs to be controlled at your knee and your hip and your spine, all the joints that keep you upright. So I want you to remember that, like when you're working at different parts of your body, that also contributes towards your balance. So for instance, if you have a hip pain because of weakness and you've got poor balance, don't just think of strengthening your foot muscle, because often it's the hip muscle that are at fault there. Or if you've got back pain, if the back muscles aren't as able to position you where you need to be, that can be the fault. And you probably realise that if you've seen anyone limp around with a hip pain, like their balance can be a bit off because they can't hold the weight. So that's how that's one of the ways it can all kind of interact. All right, so step forward and back. We're just going to kind of lunge forward and back. So I'm just coming back onto the top of my foot and then back, just seesawing, just nice and loose with your body. And then opposite way, like a seesaw. And notice like the pelvis isn't, well, not moving around this way, it's just forward and back. Just forward and back. Good. All right, so this one is keeping our hips stable. So rather than doing a hula hoop this way, we're doing kind of like a hula hoop on the top. So rather than being the bottom, it's the top, if that makes sense. This will sort you out. We've actually never done this one before. So we try and sneak a few new ones in for you. And then the other way around. So try and do it without moving your hips. It's quite difficult. Good. Shoulder rolls. Good. Okay, hopefully you feel a bit warmed up. We're going to do, concentrate on our foot stuff a bit more now. So let's go into our walks where we do our pigeon toes. And you're trying to keep your knees facing more or less forward, but your feet turned in. Don't do this one if you feel like it hurts your knees or anything like that. But you only need to go forward a few steps and backwards again. And you should feel the muscles in the sides of your shins, insides and outsides, as well as your feet. Do something little here, that's what we want. And then now we're turning them out. Just trying to use different muscles than we're used to. One more time. Good, and we're going to do some calf raises now. So hands on your hips or hand on a supporting surface if you need it for balance. Knees facing forward, toes facing forward. We're just going to come up and down again. Up and down. And if you're doing it without holding on, you can see that like you still have to balance. That's still hard to balance up there, isn't it? So this is a balance exercise as well as a strength exercise. Try and control the descent as well. Try not to just drop. Try and control it the whole time without kind of skewing it to either side. Good. Okay. Just sway to side where you rest. Now we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to turn our feet in like we did the first time. All right, now it only has to be slight because I don't want to hurt your knees. So again, turning your knees in and doing that, and you'll just feel it in a different spot. And you might overbalance like I just did. That's it. Good. Back to the middle and just sort of sway. Excellent. Now we're going to do the same thing, but put our feet facing out. Starting to resemble ballet again, isn't it? You're going to think I'm going to turn you into ballerinas. It's not my intention. There's a lot of good movements in different dances in terms of the strength that they can get. Good. All right, just relax for me. All right, now what I want you to do is pull your foot up like so, and then pull your foot on the up like so. And I want you just to hold it there, and then relax. Hold it there, relax. You might only be able to balance for like a second or so. If you can balance for longer, good for you. I can only seem to hold that for like a brief window. You're coming up. Like, your hips will naturally come back as you do it, so bring your hips back and just try and hold it as long as your body allows you to. And it's quite a balanced one, as well as strengthening the front of your shin muscles there, if you can feel that. Good. All right, just relax again. Okay, let's just do some tandem stance. So put one foot in front of the other. Try and be on that sort of tightrope. If you need to, for balance, use your hands, you know, like they used to do if you need to. That's a really good way of trying to stop yourself from tipping. And then what I want you to do is keeping your feet there. We're going to do that seesaw pattern again. We're going forward and back. So just notice we're starting to try and get used to shifting our weight, moving our ankles into different positions whilst we balance. Don't think of balance always with a flat foot. Your foot can be in any which position and you still need to stay on top of it. So that's why we do all these different types of foot placements. Good. Now let's swap over sides, like so. So just hold that spot. And then let's go into the seesaw again. So as you seesaw forward, the heel of the back leg comes up. As you seesaw back, the toe of the front foot comes up. So it's this kind of like a simple movement, but if you do it with control, without having to move your pelvis, it can be quite tricky. Now, can I tell you, balance does take a while to improve. Strength takes less time than balance to improve. So if you've been working on things and you think, well, am I getting stronger, but I'm still, you know, feeling that the balance is lagging behind, it just means that that's just how it works. So you're not behind, it's just that you're not making things up or you're not working hard. It just is the way it is. You have to just keep on it for months and you will get there. So keep going. It will pay dividends. Good. Now what we're going to do is the heel to toe walk. So again, you can have your hands for balance if you need to. You can look down if you need to. That will make it easier. For people who are finding this okay, you know, try and put your hands on your hips and look forward. Or if you want to be really advanced, look up as you do it. that'll challenge it. And then you realize how much your vision and your inner ear does for your balance when you change the position of your head. You don't realize how much you use it. So forgive me for talking. It's obviously like I can't hear anyone, but we're just trying to put a bit of extra tips and tricks for you. But yeah, like people don't often make the connection that visual impairment, like, you know, or even mild stuff like what I've got, astigmatism and long-sightedness, or hearing impairment, does for balance. You know, if you If you're finding it hard to see or hear and localize where things are, often your body can't fully compensate for that, so you end up being a bit rocky. So if you do have like hearing aids, doing balance exercise become even more important. If you do have visual aids like glasses, or if you have macular degeneration or anything, cataracts, balance exercise becomes increasingly important. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's get into our slow knee lifts, right? So what I want you to do is a slow motion knee lift and then down again. And notice that I'm on one leg for that period of time. Try to keep your trunk kind of upright the whole time. Try not to sort of slouch down. Okay, now what we're going to do is pause there, right? Press down with your hand and resist it with your leg. And as you press down, it doesn't have to be firm. We're going to rotate out. This is an advanced one if you hadn't noticed. We're going to turn out as we press down. I just lost control there. It's quite hard to do without holding on with good control. So, yeah. Other side, so lift up. This is more an angle for exercise, just in case you're wondering. Occasionally, like me, you'll just have to put your foot down because you just lose it. So, doesn't matter how long you've been doing balance exercise for. Don't feel like it has to be perfect. Just keep trying. There'll be some days where you just don't feel very good at all. Okay. Just loosen up your hips. All right. Okay, so this time, turn your right foot out. This is another Angoffer exercise. Come up onto your tiptoe. Lift up the leg like so. And then bring your foot in to the inside of your knee like so, and then just balance. And we're going to try and do this for half a minute. If this position causes your hip to ache or your back, just sort of bring your knee more forward, or you can put your foot on your other foot like that. Otherwise, see if you can open up your hip. Whoop, don't do what I did. Open up your hip, and then you get a stretch. Get a bit more mobility there too, which is actually quite good. Try and keep this hip up. Don't let it kind of sink down. That's it. Get your balance back. And then what you can do, so just while we're practicing this, if you're not able to do this, why don't you just go back to a tandem stance like this? So you're still getting some balance, right? So you're getting some exercise into it. And then for people who are doing this, try and lift it up and slowly down, and then we're going to swap over sides. So again, there'll be times in any workout when we're doing groups that you'll just need to go back to another exercise of your choice. Try and keep going the whole time as much as you can. Just the only times that I don't want you to do that is when you're in pain or when you're really like out of breath. Other than that, try and just do something so you're getting a little bit of practice in. All right, and then when we come out of this position, lift the leg up. So you still got balance the whole way down, and only at the end you come down. So you're always getting that balance. Good. Okay, let's do a hip hitch. So this is where we stand on the one leg and we hip hitch up. So you should feel it in this hip here, in the side. Good. Other side. I'm just checking how much time we've got left in the session. We're doing well. Make sure we get our agility in too. All right, have a rest. We're going to do a trickier version of that for the Banksias and Angopheras. What we're going to do, right, is when we're on the side here, see how we were just literally just going straight up, right? There's no forward or backward movement. But now what we're going to do is do like a forward movement. So we're going to start here, and then we take it forward, and we start here, and then we take it forward. So hitch, forward, down. So from forwards, looks like this. So hitch. It's almost like you're walking, but you have like rods for legs. That's kind of what it looks like. You're some sort of robot, but you'll feel it in here. So it's like this. So keep your knees nice and straight, nice and tight, and we'll just do a couple of them. So lift up, over, lift up, over. It's a tricky exercise to do well. A really good balance one and control for those who are at this level. Can you feel it? Should feel like you're really starting to work here. If you're not feeling it, it means two things. It means you're really good, or we're not quite localizing the technique. That's it. And then you can kind of speed up as you get used to it. Good. All right, just relax. Very good. We'll just do a couple of advanced balance exercises. So what we're going to do is put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And with the back foot, depending on your balance level, just try and let it be like a touch support. So there's not really weight. It's just kind of a feather touch to the ground. And what I want you to do is with both hands, keeping that feather touch and not any weight, is reach down to the ground and then up again. So it's almost as if that's not really doing any weight bearing. It's down to the ground and up. I'll only do a few of these because these are very hard. Good. And then swap over sides. So right foot forward, left foot back. Just a feather touch. And it's like you've got a box and you're putting the box on the ground. And then back up again. Just three good ones will do. Good. We'll do a couple of easy ones for our here ones. So this time, put our feet and knees together, hands on your hips, and we're just going to turn around and look over our shoulder. Turn around, look over our shoulder. Just see how far you can comfortably turn. And then again, take that same box, but you're going to reach from the ground, and then you're going to put the box on the shelf. So pick up the box from the ground, but with your feet together, and the box on the shelf. Here, here. And then we decided it was on the left shelf, and we're putting it on the right. On the left. We just can't decide what to do with this box, can we? Like so. Excellent. Excellent. All right, one last balance exercise and we do some agility. So this is going to be a knee lift with a side leg lift. So it's going to look a bit like a sideways kick in slow motion. So it's going to be knee lift, leg lift, down. Knee lift, leg lift, down. And if you can do it with good balance the whole time, it's quite tricky. So when you're going that way, you're not really leaning too far. You're just a little bit. And you can go as high as you want. Excellent. And then we're going to go this side. The knee lift, leg lift. And you only need to put your leg out as far as is comfortable. You can even just do that if this is a hard one for you. But you should start, you should start feeling it in there. One last one. Good. Have a quick rest, have a drink. We're going to get ready for our footwork now. So some of these being a little bit higher intensity, you'll start to naturally feel your heart rate come up, though they're not cardio exercises precisely, but you'll just start to feel it, yeah. The big key with these is I want you to focus on accuracy, which just means I want your foot to go where you want it to go. Don't let it just go anywhere. You've got to really focus on the placement. Now, this is the bit that doesn't translate well to camera. You've got to imagine you've got a box of 4, like a windows with the kind of like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your feet are in the bottom 2, and there's 2 there, and there's 2 there. Does that make sense? Like a 2x2 on a chessboard sort of business. And what we're going to do is a box step. So we're going to go step forward to the top 2, and then we're going to step backwards to the back 2. What I want you to imagine is that your footprints are only in one of those 4 places. You can only put your foot into the prints. You can't put them anywhere else. So you've got to hit the same spot each time, even as you get faster. What I don't want is kind of like everything happening, right? That's not agility. We want to have the same spot every single time, as best you can. Now, you don't have to do a big knee lift like I'm doing. You can do a smaller one if you need to, and just go nice and fast, but keep your accuracy. But for extra, do a box step. Now, it won't be perfect, but just try your best. We'll just do about 15 seconds of these or so. If you notice that you're gradually, walking to one side, when you're trying to stay on one side, usually means that you've got a dominant side and a weak side. So learning to stay in the one spot will strengthen the other side. Excellent, excellent. All right, now we're going to do some forward kind of jogs, if you like, or more like a little bit of a cushion jog and some back pedals. So I want you to go almost like a really short step, but try and get the feet placement just where you want them to. So really in a straight line. And I want you to have every footfall to be like fairly symmetrical between the left side and right. And now I want you to just concentrate on quickness. You don't have to be fast in terms of getting from forward to back, if that makes sense. You can just be quick with your feet. So see how I'm moving slowly, as in my forward direction's taking me age to get there, but my feet are fast. So I just want you to focus on that. We're trying to get that left to right, left to right, left to right, just going really fast so that you can react quickly to things. Good. All right, so you should start feeling it now. Now we're going to do some leaps left to right. Again, just imagine the footprints where they would be. So as you leap from left to right, you're really hitting the same spot each time. Ooh, missed. And the good thing about having that target is you'll know when you miss, and so you'll be able to correct, and you'll see where the things you need to improve are. And you can go a bit faster. And notice, as an advanced version of this exercise, you don't actually have to put the foot down. See, I'm still on my one leg, so this is a balanced one as well. And then sort of keep your feet out, but kind of move your body from left to right. This is a hard one. Good. Pressed up. Pressed up. Okay. Now, what we might do now is, for those of you who have been in our face-to-face classes, we're going to do, imagine we're doing the ladder exercises. So you've got to imagine the ladder on the ground. We're going to do the one where we stride forward 2 steps at a time. So we want to see you take a long step and a long step, and then you can do your backwards movement as a backwards tandem, right? So this is the movement. So it's long step, and then a backwards tandem. Just make sure you know exactly where you're going. You got things to hold on to if you need to. So forward step, a long one, forward step, long one, and then backwards tandem. Or you can do a backwards walk if you don't feel confident. The idea is to stretch out a bit more. Forward, forward. Good. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do like a gallop forward, which means lead with one and then come forward with the other. So it's right. So as at a fast, it's just a gallop. So it would look like that. But to slow it down, it's going to be 1 foot forward and then meet it. 1 foot forward. But the one coming forward's got a big knee lift, and the one coming backward is just like so. So it's here, 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 and then just walk backwards. And you can swap over sides, here, here, here. And just try and get nice and fast with your foot. It's a bit tricky. It feels a bit odd having one leg go and the other one not. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to do the grapevines. This is the one that'll sort everyone out. There's a few people who can do this in class. It's going to be a sideways step and then backwards tandem, sideways, forwards tandem. All right, so it's going to be this business. Side, back, side, forward. Side, back, side, forward. So you're continually moving to the side, but every second step's kind of like a tandem balance. That makes sense. So tandem balance, side step, tandem balance, side step. And you're just kind of weaving from left to right. And as you get better at it, you can do it faster and faster until you hit your kind of rhythm. But just is fine to start really slow and then just build up as you're able to. Okay? Just try and be really accurate. We'll spend about a good half minute on this because this is a really important one. You don't need a lot of space, but you just need to coordinate it. Good. Excellent. Have a rest. How are we going? We're going good. We're almost there. We're almost there. So we're going to do, they're called bee marches in athletics, but we call them silly walks because they look very much like the Ministry of Silly Walks that John Cleese did. So this one, right, I'll kind of do it at a sideways so you can see. You're going to lift your knee up, and then you're going to straighten your knee, and then you're going to put it down. Lift, straighten, down. So this is the walk. Like so. And then turn around and we'll go backwards. But That's it. I'll do some facing forward so you can see. What a lot of people do with this one, they drop their knee down and then go down. You got to keep your knee up as you kick out if you can. And you'll feel it in the hamstrings there. Okay. I know this will sort out some people. We're getting into some harder stuff. Just do what you can of it. All right. Very good. Very good. We're going to do a box pattern now. So it's going to be start in one corner. So we're going to go side, forward, side, back. So as you're looking at the floor, it's kind of like just a big square. So side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side. You can walk it like so. You can change how long the steps are. You can make it longer if you want to challenge yourself. You can make it shorter if you want to make it easier. And you can make it fast if you want to challenge yourself. So there's a few different options depending on where you're at with your mobility and your confidence. You can easily do this with a walking stick, right? Other way around now. Good, excellent. Very good, very good. Hope you're all feeling good. We'll get into our warm down now because we're starting to get towards the end of class. You've done really well. Good, so let's just do some, imagine we're shot putters, so get your shot put and we're just gonna try and push out, twist our bodies, bend our legs from here and then push out in a diagonal. Other side. Good. Stretch outs like so. Nice movements here. Good. Start out here and then just bend over. And then roll back up. This might not be good for you if you get back pain or if you've had osteoporosis, just maybe leave this alone. Okay. So let's do the slow hula hoops again. All the way around. Good. Okay. So we're going to do some marches, but just bring your top half towards the opposite half. All right, washing machine time. This is a great one if you've been in the garden all day. Just shake it all out. Loosen everything up. Good. All right. Let's just do a lunge stretch. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and just lunge into it. Try and keep your feet facing forward. If you want to an advanced version, lean across as well. And then you can try the other side. Good. Swap sides. So you can just hold it like this if you need to, or you can try this. And just swinging our legs. Other side. Good. Just some walking on the spot. All right, good. We'll just finish up with our breathing like we usually do. So deep breath in. And then try and release your muscle tension. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. Good. Well done, folks.